Welcome back to the Breakthrough Show. This is season 6, where we're talking about breakthroughs around the world, honoring our similarities, celebrating our connection, and recognizing our differences. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I'm super excited to be with you for another episode today. This friend that we're bringing back on the show today has been a guest before, a couple of times, I believe. And I always love to have conversations with her because ever since I met her, she's always been jet setting around the world, but such a calm energy. And I am an anxious traveler, so I would have a lot of trouble with this, staying so calm and grounded and centered. But she does. I know that she has coached people, that she's worked with women before, and I'm super excited to catch up with her today. So, without further ado, and representing Hungary today here on our Breakthroughs Around the World series, please welcome Timea Monostori to the show. Welcome, Timea.
Thank you, Jessica, to have me here again. It's always a pleasure to join your show and see your work. I really love what you do because it's full of joy, it's full of commitment, and you really want to give good time to people. And how can I not support this and be here again?
I appreciate that so much. And it's some time has passed since we've gotten the chance to spend some time together. But every time passes and then we reconnect, it feels like no time has passed at all. And I appreciate that about you for sure.
I
I'm
agree.
also really excited because we've never really, in all the times we've talked, had the opportunity to talk about your home country of Hungary before. And I'm excited to dig into that a little bit today as part of our virtual traveling that we've been doing this year. So I would love for you to start out by sharing with our audience something maybe that you love about your home country of Hungary.
Oh, I love a lot of things about Hungary. First of all, what I would mention, it's a very, very tiny country. It's
Mm.
like 10 million people. Maybe you in America cannot even imagine how it can be a country with 10 million people. But we are very, very specific on one thing, our language.
Mm.
Our language is super unique because we don't say in the house, on the table. You use different words, but we put everything together like to one word. So it's super, super hard to learn
Yeah.
Hungarian. But when I'm in Mexico or anywhere in the world and I talk Hungarian, nobody
Yeah.
understands, and that's one advantage. And another one that our roots are from a shamanic culture, and
Mm.
our words are really magical. If you could understand our language, you would find so many magic. And even just talking about, I get goosebumps. So
Mm.
it's a super magical language. So describe everything that in your heart. We have so many words for emotions, for different things. So it's a very sensitive country, people with an amazing language that has no roots to anything else, to any other language. So it's super hard for foreigners, but it's a gift for us. But of course, we need to learn languages because of it, because nobody understands us. It's not even close to anything else, even in Europe.
Wow. Wow. I mean, I listen, I'm trying to relearn Spanish right now. Because I took a little bit in school, but it's challenging even for that. So I couldn't imagine trying to learn a language that doesn't have anything to compare it to, because there's like, in Spanish and in Italian and French, there's certain words that sound similar to other things. So it makes it kind of easy to pick it up. I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah, yeah. Another thing that I really love about my country, oh, we have so many good fruits and veggies.
Mm.
As you mentioned, I'm traveling all over the world. Like I spent this year 4.5 months in Thailand and 6 weeks in Egypt, and now I'm here in Mexico. And so I spent like 6 weeks in Hungary altogether this year. Previously, during COVID time, I stuck there a little bit, but this travel experiences shows me how exceptional is our agriculture, because like in Egypt, I cannot eat salads. I cannot
Wow.
eat a lot of things that I'm used to in those countries,
Mm,
because they are tropical, or the water is not safe. And when I travel, I can really appreciate that I can drink from the tap. I can eat as many veggies, different fruits. Like the summertime is like a hurry. Okay, now have this kind of berry, then this kind of berry, then peach, different kind of peaches, and then you want to have it all. You
yeah.
want to eat all because they are so delicious.
Yeah.
So yeah, our country is famous for the agriculture, and I think who just lives there and got used to it, that we have so amazing variety, and not from abroad, from our country.
Mm,
Because now you can have variety everywhere in the world. It doesn't matter where you go for shopping. You can find avocado everywhere. You can find mango everywhere. You can find peach or apple
right.
everywhere. But when it's grown in your own country, it have a
Mm,
different taste, and you feel like, okay, I'm supporting the environment too, because it's not something that traveled 1,000, kilometers. So
yeah.
that's really good, and we have a lot of tradition connected to food. Like we make amazing wines. We have only 19 region, but
Mm,
we have 22 wine region. It
wow.
shows Hungary loves wine, and even though it's a small country, the climate changes, because there are some wine regions in the hills, and the south part of Hungary is really like a small Toscana. So
Mm,
it's completely different taste of the wine, different grapes can grow. So even though it's a very small country, we can have a lot of variety in
mm.
wine, in taste, oh, and I spent 8 years with a winemaker, so I'm really, really fascinated about tasting and enjoying food and wine. And yeah, we are very good at it. And in Hungary, we have the biggest lake in Europe.
Oh,
Yeah, it's 72 kilometers
wow.
wide. So it's like shaped like this, and this is the biggest lake in Europe, what we have. And it's just amazing, because I know I cannot tell you, because I know it's a European, that's
Mhm.
70 kilometer. Maybe we can find in the meantime.
Kilometers to mile. I'll look it up while you're talking.
Yeah, and every beaches are different. The view is different, and just swimming as far as you want.
Mm,
Beautiful sunset with a huge lake.
yeah.
So it's remarkable. It's a every Hungarian should go for holiday there. It's a kind of must.
I love that. So 72 kilometers is 44 miles, just over 44 miles. So that's a big lake.
That's a big leap compare countryside, and compare it to Europe. It's not
Yeah.
Canada. It's not in the States. So I'm sure there are bigger lakes, but in Europe we have the biggest one, and we are
Yeah.
part of it and really enjoy it.
I love this is part of why I love this series that we're doing so much, because I had no idea that it had the biggest lake in Europe. I had no idea about the agriculture or about the wine. Usually when we hear about wine, we think about Italy or France, and that's pretty much that's pretty much that. Here in the United States, we just hear about California. However, we have some beautiful little tiny wineries right around where I live in Connecticut, but nobody ever talks about Connecticut either. So it's interesting the things that we associate with different products, yet there are so many little undiscovered places like that that people don't know about unless we hear from someone like you that's been there.
Yeah, let me mention one more thing about
Yes.
Hungary. If you visit Hungary, be prepared that you have to eat a lot. If you go and visit a family or friends, they will, okay, you haven't even entered to the room, but they are asking, okay, what are you eating? And you will find a table full of different amazing food. And because for Hungarians, one form of love is feeding. And
Mm,
when I talk about our language, love in Hungarian is szeretet. And the second part of szeretet means feeding. So it's super connected. If you love someone, you cook, you feed them, you give everything, even you don't have anything, you try to make the best feast
mm.
for them. And this is just so most of our celebrations, like Christmas time, you
All the
gain
food.
you gain a lot of weight because if you visit your family members, everyone will give you feast. It's a kind of tradition that we need to sit around the table. We talk around the table. We spend a full afternoon around the table. So it's a very strong tradition for us eat together and treat each other well, even if you have almost nothing.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. And I'm curious about where where the food is concerned. So I've talked to people in other countries that also have very like strong traditions around food. And so I, for example, eat a plant-based diet now. And so I've asked people in different countries before, if I come and I don't eat the meat, is that going to be offensive to your culture? And they said yes, you would never like say no. Would I be in trouble at your house to me?
It depends on if you go to the countryside or to our capital Budapest,
Uh-huh.
and it depends on the age.
Yeah.
Who is your
Yeah. Yeah.
host? Because now in most of the cities are very common that you can find vegan restaurants,
Hmm.
vegetarian places. Indian culture is coming more and more. Yoga is super uh, famous and popular now. So yeah, we have a lot of food for you, Jessica. But if you
Great.
go to a traditional, like people around 60, 70-year old family on the countryside,
Yeah.
and if you want something like this, they will tell you, okay, we have a nice soup. We will not serve you the meat. Okay, it's vegetarian, right? But
I love it.
it's a meat soup. But so
Yeah.
this is how they react
Yeah.
to this. So yeah, I think as the generations changing,
Mm.
we are more and more focusing on eating more veggies and having a lot of vegetarian options, and we have amazing tools for this because we are really good at veggies.
Mm. Yeah,
But
well that's what you're telling me about the good agriculture, so I'm thinking maybe I won't be in as much trouble as I think I
no, no, you wouldn't be. No, it's safe for you to visit once if you
Okay.
are in Europe.
Good to know. Good to know. I know before we finish up this particular segment, I know that you do a lot of traveling, and that enables you to witness other cultures and ways of doing things. Is there anything that you've seen in your travels that you say, I wish we had back home in country? I wish in Hungary. I wish this was this way. Is there anything that you'd like to take home with you?
Yeah, several things. First of all, I think Europe, not just Hungary, all over Europe is super stressed. And my two main favorite place is Thailand and Mexico. And people are so relaxed here in both countries. And I would like to take it home and more smile, more understanding, more. It's of course it has the bad side too, because if I need to have here repaired something, they tell, okay, I'm come at 2, but you don't know which day.
Yeah.
So it has both sides, of course. But
Yeah.
I feel here, if you want to do something like in Asia or in Middle South America, you can do if you want. If you have a business idea, if you want to do something, if you want, uh, yeah, more relaxed life, it's better place because Europe is fully stressed. Deadlines, 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 rules, and that's a base of a lot of frustration because if someone doesn't come at 2 when they told, you just say, okay, that's Mexican time, that's Thailand time. They live in a different time. And it's proven. So in Europe, I'm sure most of the places in America too,
Yeah.
your life is strict. Your day is strict. If it's 3 o'clock, it's 3 o'clock. If someone doesn't respect your rules or just cross the lane with the car without using the what is
This the blinker.
the
Yeah.
blinker. In Asia or here in this area, it's just you know that you need to pay more attention. So it's everything has a bad side and a good side, but
Right.
I experienced that in Hungary and in Europe, just too much rules, too much. The rules are more about what not to do,
Mm.
and that's a very block. I feel like that people have ideas like in business, but they are scared to do because oh my god, I need to get this paper, that paper. I need to go to this office and another office and wait 60 days and blah blah blah. And here you can start. You are already tired.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
here, if mostly I'm speaking mostly about Asia and South America. If you have an idea, you just do it.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds a lot better to me. I mean, it's very similar here in the US, as you mentioned, where there's just so much red tape around everything to where you have to wait. And then if there's 100 boxes to check, and if you don't check all 100, you can't do it. And it's very frustrating. It's especially for those of us that are very creative and we have a new idea every 5 minutes. We just want to run with it, but now we have to wait and we have to follow. And I can see the point for some of the laws and the processes, but I feel like it's just a lot.
Yeah, because if you think, my lighting is not perfect. I'm sweating because it's hot here, but it's nature, and I think that if we follow more the nature, like a tree never asks even drops a fruit that, oh, can I grow this fruit here? Is it okay to do this or do that? And what I experienced that in Europe, in Hungary, we are a bit like separated from how nature goes, how a natural life would go. And when I see people, sparks in the eyes, because I'm working in my coaching business sometimes like once in 3 years with entrepreneurs building their online business, because it's not my main focus, but because I built a great online business, they are curious. So sometimes I teach it,
Right.
and I see that they have so many questions, unnecessary questions, and it kills the spark
Yeah.
because oh my god, I how many diplomas need to do it, how many process should I finish, and it's the expansion. You cannot really expand, you cannot go with your flow because it's a global fear there that oh my god, do I have everything official?
Mm.
And it's just super scary and block uh, the curiosity, the sparks, the good things.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
time.
I agree. I agree 100%. Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing. Healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com. I want to continue this conversation of the work that you do and find out what you've been up to since we've seen each other last. I know you've been traveling and everything else, but I would also love for you to start out by sharing. You're a coach, you help people, but tell everybody how you help people. I know you mentioned a little bit of the entrepreneurship, but what else do you help people with for anyone that's new to you here?
Jessica, it was one of my big breakthrough because I was for 17 years in leadership business. I was working with companies on leadership, all kind of training. So I had to learn different part like presentation, stress management, leadership, motivation, time management, communication, blah, blah, blah. A lot of things I had to learn. And then I felt because I started go deep in motivation, in meditation, and into subconscious work, like working with peers. And you cannot really work, at least in Europe, because it's the rules.
Yeah.
We are one company. We don't share that my father was abusive, that blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So I figured out that I can only help on the logical, the intellectual terms. And I realized that, oh my God, a lot of people don't need my training. They just need a healing session, or maybe a sound healing, maybe some theta healing, maybe a kinesiologist, maybe something to heal the childhood trauma or the trauma of the generation or fears or group peers are popping up. So I started to work only with individuals. And one of my biggest fear was in my coaching business that I'm not a specialist. I can't tell you that I only work with couples, or I do relationship coaching, or I do, I don't know, how to get your goals quicker trainings. Because I was like the nature. 1 month I was so interested in money mindset. Like, oh my God, how many fears, how many belief systems I connected to money mindset. And then the 2 months later, I was like, wow, relationship, intimacy, sexuality. Wow, what a huge blockage I see there. Let's do a course on this. And my problem was that I was wanted to do every 3 months a different course.
That's me.
And all the marketers told me, find an audience, find a topic, be a specialist. And one of my breakthrough was that I'm a human. I have so many colors. You can see it on my clothes. I have different colors. And I started to call myself a holistic coach,
Mm.
because sometimes when you come to me like, okay, I can't find my life purpose, or I have too much quarrels with my husband, or I have this problem, and we start to talk, very quickly we find something completely different. So the topic is not the topic a lot of time. So one of my breakthrough was that I can be like this, and that's okay. So back to your question, how do I help people? What kind of coach I am? I help to make your life better. And how I get my clients, I'm just posting what is inside me. I'm posting about what inspires me, and I always find a tribe who resonates with this.
Mm.
So this
Yeah.
is how I help. Mostly, of course, we go deep and we try to. As I see my work, it's like a spider net. You know, you pull a spider net somewhere, all the spider net moves and
Hmm.
changes. So maybe you come to me to solve a relationship problem, but you gain way more self confidence. You will have way more joy in your life. You start a new sport. So, how can you
Yeah.
put it into a box? And that was one of my breakthrough, that I don't need to put my skills, my gifts, my coaching into a box.
Mm. I cannot tell you how many people are watching this right now that you just helped just through that, because that has been one of the hardest things for me, is allowing myself to be a multifaceted human when I have everybody telling me you can only do one thing, you have to niche down, you have to specialize, you can't work with more than one type of person. Everything that I just, like that red tape and that paperwork that we talked about earlier, it dampens the spark. It makes me sad to think about that. I think I would literally pass away if I had to do just one thing.
Yeah, I think we are all different, and there are some people who are super happy just working on relationship
Right.
coaching and eating the same breakfast every morning. If I have to eat the same breakfast for 3 morning in a row, I would deny. When I'm in a hotel for a couple of days and they always serve me some, cheap, same basic breakfast like 2 eggs, bacon, toast,
Yeah.
after 3 days, I just go and pay for a nice coffee with a croissant or some guacamole or some. Just please let
Yeah.
me enjoy my life. I can't go by routines. But for some people, that's perfect because they like this safety, this stability. This is their way. We are different, and that's cool. I just couldn't follow this. Strategy that you need to pick one audience, one topic. I would kill myself really if I need
Really.
to talk about all the time, every time about the same things.
Yeah. And I think truly, you know, the coaching industry in general would come across even better if the majority of coaches understood that we're not all the same, because I still today see so many coaches coming out with like one framework and then expect everybody to fit in this one little box, but we're all so different. And wouldn't it be beautiful if we could approach our coaching practice of the same multifaceted nature that we want for ourselves?
Yeah. So mainly what I do when I feel passionate about something, I just put it online. I talk about it and I can have my tribe. Mostly I do coaching, but mostly I do online trainings because I was always better with groups, and I see the benefit working together, people sharing, asking a question like, "Oh my God, wow, it's a perfect question for me. I never thought to ask it, but." Now that you ask, I see, oh my God, it's so important to me. So I believe in tribes, in groups. And I think as now we are a bit in an individualist era, but I think even with the economy difficulties, it's more and more important to have groups, have tribes, uh, closer and a bit. Yeah, you can have a wider group and maybe just online groups, but you need to have all kind of tribe around you, and it helps a lot.
Yeah. I would love to ask you, especially since you brought up this idea of groups. I also love it, love group energy, and I love smaller groups where we can really get to know each other
Yeah,
and
me too.
help each other quite a bit. How do you navigate in those groups very different backgrounds and energies that people have? Sometimes it's not always harmonious when people come together. How do you navigate any challenges that might come up in differences between people?
I have a bad news for you, Jessica. I don't
Oh,
know
geez.
the question to your answer because my energy is so super strong that I only attract people who can stay together in harmony. I
I
don't know,
love it.
truly, I don't know how I do it. Really, I have no idea. If I knew it, how I do it, I would already teach it. I have no idea how I do it, but not on my fan page, not on in my groups. No, no quarrels, no conflicts, nothing. Just support.
Hmm.
So I cannot answer your question.
Man, I thought we were going to get like the golden egg here.
No, I'm sorry. You know what? Once, like years ago, there were a woman in one of my group. It was a free group, free of charge group that sent me an email. And because of my hectic lifestyle, I don't always answer
Yeah.
just right or in 1 day or 2 days. And she was posting in the group that I wrote you an email and you haven't answered, blah, blah, blah. And the others from the group started to talk to her like, what do you think? You think she has all the time just for us? It's a free group. Please appreciate her time and blah,
Mm.
blah, blah. And by the time I saw this post, she already left because the group killed
Mm.
her there. So I really don't know what. Maybe one thing that I do that I'm truly honest. Sometimes it's not easy,
Right.
but I share not only knowledge. I don't share only wisdom. I don't share only good things like, hello, I'm in Mexico. I'm just back to the beach. But I share my flows. I share that, okay, guys, sorry, I disappeared for 2 weeks, but I was at a very bad place. I was not emotionally available to do any work. And of course, I'm not just telling that I was in a bad place. I share what happened and what are my conclusion and how I want to move forward. So I'm honest,
Mm.
and I think it helps. Like one of my biggest health problems are my teeth. And if you look at this video, I have no teeth now here because I was in Thailand and my bridge just came off, and they said you need to take off everything and you need implants.
Oh, boy.
And I was like, oh, again, I did it once. I don't want to do it. I'm on video. I don't want a replacement. It's so uncomfortable, and I need to deal with this again online. And of course, in dating, it's not
Yeah.
the sexiest. And I
Yeah.
said, you know what? This is me now. And I don't have any cover. I'm not sure it's the perfect word in English, but
Mm.
so aesthetic uh, fundamental cover.
Right.
But this is me now, and I'm still smiling. So I am who I am. Maybe it helps to only attract those people who can accept this and they don't want the perfect one, the guru who is always perfect. I don't know if it's the golden egg, but it works for me.
I think when I talked and introduced you in the beginning of the show, and I said how you're always so calm and collected and grounded anytime we've had a conversation, and I just love your energy. I think a lot of that comes from your honesty, because I think when you're honest about yourself, about your life, and you're just open and you are who you are, there is a peace that comes with that, as opposed to, because if you're hiding something, you're anxious, you always have something to cover up, and you're just not that way. And I think that might be where that calmness come from, is you are who you are.
Yeah, and Jessica, travel helps a lot because when
Yeah.
I'm here in Mexico and I'm sweating like hell and it's super humid, I cannot put a nice makeup on. My hair is just like as if dried. I don't have a beautiful bucket of flowers and baroque background, so it's impossible for me to be
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
So I have two choices. I go with this and I say, okay, guys, I cannot wear too much makeup. I'm sweating, but I have something to tell you. So, or I just wait for the perfect moment till everything is perfect in the background.
Yeah. Yeah. Which we know that perfection is the pursuit of perfection is a waste of energy, truly, because I don't think it ever really happens.
No, but in Europe and in Hungary too, people really, really try to be perfect, and it gives so many anxiety to the whole culture, how we communicate to each other, because everyone try a little bit pretend and show off things, and I don't think it's a good direction.
Yeah.
But I think Europe and was always like this a little bit, and in Hungary we have a lot of quotes. Like as I told you, if you come to see us, family, even if they have no money, they will make you a full table full of food, because it's very important to show that we have it should be perfect. Even though we will not eat in the full month, it's important to show. And it's not just about hospitality, it's about perfection too. And what it brings a lot of anxiety, anger, frustration too, because you see the difference between the picture and the reality. And if someone is not perfect, you start to judge. So I told you I'm honest. So I must be honest about Hungary. If you are a guest there, you will feel real amazing, but you will meet with a lot of judgment too.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I appreciate the honesty, and really how you described them cooking a
Are you
meal
still
for a
here?
big spread for everybody, even though they may not have eaten themselves, but I never even thought about that, because my I know people that are like that. I can be like that. Even if things aren't perfect for me, I always try to, make things nice before people come over. And it's not just about like you said, it's not just about the hospitality, but thinking about, those moments of perfectionism inside me and where that might be coming from. That's huge. That's huge. But so I appreciate the honesty that you're sharing, because I think even that's really
Yeah.
going to help people out quite a bit. Thanks for watching the Breakthrough Show Network. Today, we'd like to support our friend over at Nail Beauty by Brittany. Purchase your custom press-on Reiki-infused nails by visiting nailbeautybybrittany.com. Don't forget your discount by using the code BREAKTHROUGH. And now, back to the show. I want to get to our 10 fun questions that we've been doing with everybody this season.
Okay.
And we're going to have a good time with this. And let me get my little banner up for everybody here, and we'll go through the 10 questions. Are you ready?
Oh no, I'm definitely not ready. I'm scared, but I trust you.
All right, here we go. Number one, what is your morning beverage of choice?
Coffee,
Coffee.
coffee,
All right,
just
got it.
pure coffee. I love the fresh uh, specialty coffees.
Mm. A lot of people are coffee people on this show. Number two, when are you most productive?
Yeah. No, because first I can have my me time, find my head, my collect all my brain cells, but in the afternoon, and so I'm not a morning person. Yeah, late afternoon, even the evening, I'm okay.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, we're not the same in that area. I'm definitely a morning person. I'm brain dead in the evening, but all right. Number three, which season is your favorite?
Summer. I live in constant summer. Come on, I'm here for summer. Then I go to somewhere else when it's summer, and then another place where it's summer. But tell the truth, the spring. Springtime is my favorite when it's warm, but it's harder to find always spring than always summer. So
Yeah. Yeah. We always have to deal with the extreme somewhere, no matter where we go. All right. Number four, what is something you're learning right now?
self love,
Mm,
more self love, and building a new business because as a coach, sometimes I feel like it's I don't get the response immediately. Sometimes I want to be a baker. I give you my food, you like it, you say it's fine, you come back tomorrow, and sometimes I just feel like, oh, I need something physical. So I'm learning how to build a new business. I
mm.
need to figure out what kind of physical can I do because I'm so craving for it.
Mm. I love that though. And again, that goes back to the honesty because I think that so many of us don't want to admit that we love that instant, that instant feedback, that instant reaction. And I'm the same way. I want somebody to clap for me every time I talk. So I love that. Thank you for sharing that. All right. Number five, when you were in school, what were your best and worst subjects?
The best was math and
Mm.
physics and chemistry, everything that connected to logic,
Mm.
and the worst, drawing.
Yeah.
I still cannot draw anything else that this
Yeah. A stick
this
figure.
stick figure. Yes, so I don't know how I even go through the drawing lessons. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. All right. Number six, what scares you?
Oh, oh my God! You said it's fun
Yeah.
question.
It's still fun.
Okay. First, we have some tarantulas here, and
Oh,
they scare me. I'm not afraid of snakes and other stuff, but tarantula has so many hair, and it's just So tarantula scares me, and that I will not. I cannot keep up my spark and emotion in all my lifetime because I don't want to do anything else than coaching. That's my it's not a job, it's a profession. I really love to do it, and sometimes I'm afraid to get a burnout and just not continuing that way because anytime I think about what I really love to do is this. So yeah, it scares me sometimes that I lose my spark.
yeah. I can see that for sure. All right. Number seven, have you ever been in love?
Don't ask me, I married 3 times.
So I guess yes.
Yes, it's a yes, it's a strong yes, and I love to be in love
Yes.
in love with nature, in love with food, in love with people, in love with my love. Yeah,
Yeah.
to be in
I
love is I'm in love being in love.
yes, I agree. I'm with you 100% on that. All right, number 8, what inspires you?
Conversations and
Mm,
books, meeting new people, having a sparkling conversation, and just get to know someone who thinks different than me, and or listening some podcasts. So mind, someone else mind.
I love that. Beautiful. Number 9, how do you well, we know about the traveling, but how do you enjoy your downtime, your free time?
During traveling,
Mm.
oh, I'm super simple. I'm happy just to watch. Let me show you. I'm just happy to watch this
Oh, beautiful.
and just watch the squirrels. I don't really have free time because even just watching the waves or the trees here, it's like,
I love that. I love that. I never thought about it like that before. Even in asking that question, though, when we say, "Oh, we play guitar in our free time," or we go shopping in our free time, that's not really free time anymore, is it? We're doing those things.
yeah. So free time when you don't need to do something. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right, number 10. Which culture do you deeply respect and or want to learn more about other than your own?
I think Buddhism,
Mm,
and I'm always sharing my time between Mexico and Thailand, and cultural aspect. Thailand for me is way more spiritual, and that's what attracts me. I really love to learn more about the Mayan culture here, but it's not really living here. This culture is not a living culture nowadays, as I see. But in Thailand, the Buddhism, the or the ceremonies, or in Bali, how they do funerals.
mm,
I think it's really deeply affect their everyday life.
wow. Wow. I love that. And you survived. You got all through all 10 questions. You did wonderful.
Thank you, thank
Love
you.
it.
I really enjoyed. I'm always scared because English is not my native language, and
Yeah.
I have this Eastern European accent, and I'm always like, oh my God, do I really understand everything? But yes, I'm
Yeah.
happy I did it.
You did. And you know, it's funny, and I want to say this really quickly. That's been some of the concern as I've talked to different people throughout the world this year is that they want the questions ahead of time because they're afraid they're not going to be able to understand. And I said, I don't want to give them to you because if you don't understand, that gives us an opportunity to have a conversation. That gives us an opportunity for me to explain or for you to explain to me and then that's how we grow and get to love each other more since we both like to be in love so much.
That's why I never asked for the questions.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, I know I have your website. I'm going to put at the bottom for everybody. It is in Hungarian, though, as we've explained. So if you go there and you
Yeah,
don't speak
it is in
Hungarian,
Hungarian. It's in Hungarian, but if anyone resonated with everything I said or with my personality, I just start to do coaching sessions in English too. So if you feel like my English is okay for you and my mindset is okay for you, I'm happy to help.
awesome, awesome. Well, I will make sure to have all your contact information in the comments below. But I would love to know before we finish up if there's anything that you're expecting to do next. I know you said you're starting to do the coaching in English. Are you going to do it the same way that you've been doing it in Hungarian, or does anything look different with that?
Um, I think it will completely different even in Hungarian now because I have two main focus now. First of all, relationship. I in my mind it's now completely different different thing than finding the big one, finding the one. Then it's for me now, as I see the world and the tendency economically and politically, we definitely need a good teammate. And it's completely different theory and idea than looking for the perfect guy. So this is one thing I want to start to talk about. Like, what if you can see your love, your partner as a teammate? Because in everyday life, we are more a teammate than the perfect love. And the second topic I really love to talk about is simplicity, simple life. Because in Europe, in the States, we are so focused on what we have, all the kitchenaries, everything, all the tools, the physical things we want to uh, own. And because I'm traveling since 5 years with one suitcase, I've learned a lot about simplicity and how to maintain your life in easier way, how to get detached from owning things, and how to live still a super happy life without owning that much stuff.
Mm. I love that. The idea of simplicity, I think, is something that's a challenge for a lot of us, and we have that similar issue here in the United States with just the focus on stuff and things, and I think anybody could for sure use that simplicity topic as well. But you can find all of Tamea's information down in the comments. Thank you so much, my friend, for being here again today. I appreciate you. It's been way too long. We can't let time go that quickly again before we meet and
I
have another
haven't.
conversation.
Thank you, Jessica, for the invite. Thank you. It was amazing to talk to you again and see your sparkling energy and smile. You are so amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Okay, you guys, it's been another amazing episode. Tamia is just fantastic. Don't you agree? I would love for you to be sure to visit our website at thebreakthroughshow.com and check out all of her information that's there as well on our guest page. And I'm just thrilled to be doing this series with you guys every week. I always learn so much. I feel like I get to sit back and just kind of virtually travel with everybody. So it's been a lot of fun. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and we'll be back next week for another episode. And I want to remind you to make every day a great day for a breakthrough. We'll see you next time.